Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Great League Remix, and let's see what team we're going to be running with today. Alright, we're going to be trying out the Shadow Gligar team paired with the Shadow Poliwrath and the Shadow Ninetales. Here we have a pretty okay lead here. We do have to watch out for potential double Power Whips. I believe 2 Power Whips will get it close to KO. Let's see what they end up doing. We decided to go for the dig right there to potentially be able to deal some big damage. 1 Power Whip goes through, yes. 2 Power Whips will KO a Gligar, and since that is the case, I believe we're going to let this go here. We end up letting it go so that we could potentially farm with our own Poliwrath. Poliwrath here is chonking away at this Ferrothorn. We have to shield here. This Power Whip would deal a huge amount of damage, but energy on this Poliwrath here should be valuable. Let's see what's in the back here. Okay, it ends up being the Mantine. Mantine versus the Poliwrath here, not the best situation, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Icy Wind, debuff them, try to catch a move. Our opponent does not throw the move. However, they decide to throw the move anyways. Water Pulse gets revealed, and now we are facing the Mantine staying in, so whatever's in the back here does not want to see this Ninetales as well. Is it the Gligar? Is this the double flyer in the back? We're going to allow this one to go through because it is debuffed. Ah, there it is. So it is the Gligar. Gligar here is going to struggle against this Ninetales as we are running the Powder Snow version. You can see we're just chunking away at the health, and unfortunately for them, they just have no play against that Ninetales. So we did make the correct play, and we allowed the Gligar to go down, and then we had a lot of farm so that we had energy to throw back at those double flyers, and then the Ninetales end up coming in clutch. All right, next game we have the Shadow Gligar versus the Typhlosion. Typhlosion here is actually going to be able to potentially KO this Gligar with 1 Blast Burn, so we do have to be aware of that. We're going to throw our move here to grab a shield, and then now it becomes, do we think that this is the Blast Burn or do we think this is a bait? We're going to allow this one to go through, and there you go. The Blast Burn takes out the Gligar very easily. We're going to use this Poliwrath again to rev up some energy. We do shield 1 Thunder Punch, and we're looking for the farm down. We do get the farm down, so farm down with a lot of energy. Poliwrath going into this backline. We do have the Dynamic Punch. Do they let this go? Boom! Now they know that the Poliwrath here does have the Dynamic Punch. They switch out into their Gligar. We have that Shadow Ninetales for this Gligar, and this should be good for us. We're chunking away at the health of this Gligar. We're going to allow this one to go through. Either move, dig, or Aerial Ace, we should be able to survive it, at least one. So we decided to let it go, throw this Weather Ball, take out the Gligar, and now all we have to do is chip away at this Umbreon or potential farm down with that Poliwrath. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with a combination of the Poliwrath and the Ninetales in the back. So that was a good surprise by us on their Umbreon. Pretty sure they didn't expect that, but Dynamic Punch Poliwrath is what we're featuring today. Here we got the Defense Deoxys to deal with. This is okay in the front here. Shadow Poliwrath switched into this Defense Deoxys wouldn't be a good matchup either, so we're just gonna play this one out. They go for the Psycho Boost. They stay in, okay. But we already grabbed a shield, so what more could we ask for at this point? We go for the dig here, dealing a lot of damage, and then we're going to switch out into our Ninetales here, trying to get them to use some energy. This Thunderbolt is debuffed, so we can easily survive that. And they have the Jellicent in the bag, so Jellicent here is going to be tricky. We're going to try to get a Dazzling Gleam to go off. Do they let it go? Boom! Dazzling Gleam does, what, 70% right there? So that was a really good Dazzling Gleam by us, getting it into potential farm down of something. Let's see what we end up deciding to do. We do have 2 shields to try to farm this down with. We are going to elect to go with the Gligar. Gligar here is first going to tank the move, and then we're going to use this 2 shield Poliwrath. Let's see if we can win this with 2 shield Poliwrath. At this point here, it does look like a farm down is advisable, but let's see if we are going to be able to do it. We show the correct Shadow Ball, and they come back in with their Defense Deoxys, okay? We're going to have to shield here because this is going to be the Psycho Boost. It's going to do a tremendous amount of damage. We are able to farm down the Deoxys. We know they have a Jellicent still. Let's see what they have in the back here. If they... Oh, they do... not want to see this Poliwrath either. We're going to go for the Dynamic Punch here for a potential KO. Boom! Another surprise defense Dynamic Punch right there, and we are able to farm down that Jellicent. GG's to our opponent. Dynamic Punch Poliwrath coming in clutch again. The Greedent would have been able to survive any other move, so we were correct in throwing the Dynamic Punch right there, applying full pressure. All right, next game. We got the Mirror Gligar. However, we're Shadow, they're not Shadow. Let's see how this plays out. We don't know who is winning the CAP tie here, so we're going to play this one out. We are going to tank the first Arrow Ace. We can tank that very easily. We're going to throw this next Arrow Ace right before they get to their own move. And it looks like they are going to allow that to go through as well. We tried a CAP tie right there, but it looks like they are able to win the CAP tie. So this Arrow Ace goes through. We are able to survive, so that's a bonus. This next Arrow Ace here will get the shield from our opponent. And then we're going to come in with the Ninetales. They switch out immediately into their Jellicent. So we're going to have to get this Dazzling Gleam off. We know that this Dazzling Gleam is going to be very important to the entire game. If we can get it off, maybe we can farm down with the Poliwrath. Okay, there goes the Dazzling Gleam. Gets it into the red. Now we have to deal with this Jellicent here. We are going to shield here. That ends up being the correct Shadow Ball shield. We are going to throw this Icy Wind here to take out this Jellicent. This Jellicent here doesn't shield. It makes sense. And they're going to come back in with their Gligar. Do we get to the move? No, we don't. They are going to be able to get to this Arrow Ace. And then we're going to have to try to farm down at this point because we want energy. No, unfortunately, one counter away from being able to farm down that Gligar. Tough situation. And they end up having their own Poliwrath in the back. So that would have been tricky. Still, if we got the farm down, maybe we would have had a chance. But it still would have been kind of tricky because our Poliwrath versus their one shield would have been tough still. GG's to our opponent. Nice play by them. Next game, here we got the Shadow Gligar versus the Poliwrath here. This Poliwrath is going to have to get out eventually. We're going to throw on ideal timing here. This Arrow Ace will either get a shield or a huge damage. It does grab the shield at least. And our opponent here does throw the Icy Wind. So we're going to have to shield here. And then we're going to see what they want to do. Icy Wind would have done a tremendous amount of damage as well. So they try to catch a move. And we do have the Poliwrath for the Steelix. We are going to allow the first one to go through. No move at this energy is going to be able to take us out. Psychic Fang does get revealed. And then we're going to throw the Dynamic Punch right here. Either going to get the KO or it's going to grab this second shield. So let's see what they end up doing. They decide to let it go. And we are able to maintain alignment. If they come back in with the Poliwrath here, we're going to try to get to a move. We only are able to get to Icy Wind here, but that's still better than nothing. Icy Wind here will not take it out. Just barely out of range, but they are debuffed. And then we're going to come back in with the Ninetales here because they are debuffed, and any move that they throw, we should be able to survive. So we're going to allow the Icy Wind to go through easy. And then they reveal that they have their own Gligar in the bag. This is going to be a struggle for them because we did get a one fast move advantage. And then you can see right here, we're going to be able to outpace them. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Ninetales right there. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.